So I've just pulled up for my ADHD assessment. Right at this moment, I have no idea, what's going to happen in terms of a diagnosis or not. Right, better stop stalling and turn the engine off and then go in. En route to go and pick up my medication. Expensive though, so I'm really grateful for the NHS. Day 3 of taking 20 milligrams of Elvance. What I think I'm noticing is really subtle. I'm taking it at about between 10 and 11 in the morning, is kind of wearing off probably around about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, and feel fuller more quickly, which is great news for Ali because he's basically getting my food that I leave on my plate. So yeah, that's interesting. But I have found myself feeling quite calm. I do feel as though I can focus better on conversations. Definitely have felt a reduction in anxiety. So that's the day. Is it day 3? Oh, see, my memory hasn't got better. So yeah, on to day 4. Day 5 on my 20 milligrams of Elvance. That's my sister's birthday balloons. It is a giant unicorn. Getting some stuff to make a cake and stuff for her. Anyway, that is a complete distraction. Then I got up to 30 as of Wednesday, so I've got a couple more days on 20 milligrams, and we'll just see if that lasts a bit longer. I'm still feeling less anxious, better able to focus on the individual task at hand. Still got multiple thoughts in my mind about things I want to do, but I'm not getting as easily distracted, and I can take things in more easily, and I can be productive without getting as overwhelmed. So all real pluses. So we'll see how it goes, but certainly day 5 and things are going really well. I'm so hopeful for the related benefit for my trichotillomania, so pulling out my eyebrows and eyelashes. I'm not relying simply on the medication. I feel like it's going to give me the bolster that will help me to overcome these issues that I just haven't quite been able to so far. So here we are. It is day 8 because I've just had 7 days. Honestly, clearly my memory's still not getting better, but yeah, 7 days on 20 milligrams, and we now have the 30s. I just appreciate that they're like pink, bright pink, very bright pink and white. The first day of 50 milligrams I've gone up to, because I was just noticing that the 30 was stopping being so effective really quick. So I've just completed nearly a month of medication and things are feeling good. Achieved a new record because it's April 2022. That means the last time I filmed anything for this was 7 months ago. Whoops. I think I need to practice. I need to practice that habit. Consistency. So whilst the medication does help with certain things, you do need to put in some effort too. We settled on 40 milligrams of Elvance, and because I was finding that the 50 milligrams was just taking me slightly over the calm balance, I was noticing a lot of agitation and irritation, feeling quite a lot of tension. So we went to 40. It wasn't lasting quite as long as I wanted it to, so we added in a 10 milligram short-acting top-up called dexamphetamine, and that's something that I can take as an option, so I don't have to have it every day. What happened after we settled at kind of month 3-4 on this combination of medication, it got transferred to what they call here in the UK shared care. So my GP surgery received a report from the private psychiatrist. They then signed it to agree that they were happy to prescribe the medication that I'd been given privately, which is amazing. And I am still to this day so grateful, because it's really expensive. Yeah, still dealing with what's that word? Consequences, that'll do, of that sort of financial strain. I am now paying NHS prepayment prescription for my meds every month, which I'm so grateful for. Then need to make sure that I do a check-in with Dr. Iqbal around about, actually now I'll look to book one in, and then another at 12 months, and then we continue in about a 12-month cycle just to make sure that everything's still okay. And that's where the whole shared care piece comes in. So my GP will prescribe medication on the NHS, but any changes or any adaptations that need to be made, I go back to my psychiatrist. Medication is not for everyone, and it doesn't mean, I mean, diagnosis is not something that everyone has to go after. Sometimes just knowing more about yourself is all you need to realise that you are still a great person. You've got a very differently wired brain, and that's causing you some challenge, but that's sometimes enough. For me, I wanted the diagnosis and I wanted to follow the medication pathway. It's been empowering for me, but it's not the be all and end all. There are people that choose other routes to manage ADHD, and they do it really successfully. So if you want to know any more about that, please pop a comment down below, and I'm more than happy to talk to you about that. I've been doing quite a lot of advocacy work in my workplace for ADHD and raising awareness, particularly as someone who, with the struggles that I've faced, that I now more consciously realise that I have faced over the years, people wouldn't believe it, because you adapt and you do this thing called masking. So you cover up the struggles that you have. You don't even know that you're doing it. You like gaslight yourself. You just think you're rubbish at life, or I certainly did. Yeah, as someone who no one at all had any inkling that I struggled with certain things that I do, organisation, planning, preparing, the amount of stress and anxiety that I face, how difficult I find it to concentrate, and all of that sort of stuff, like, people just didn't believe it. So if anyone wants to know more about my experience from that perspective, then I'm happy to do that. Likewise, in terms of some of the things I've discovered to help me take the burden off me trying to manage everything, like pragmatic stuff, software, actual hardware, then I'm more than happy to talk about that. I went through the government process access to work. I'd never heard of it before I had ADHD, and then I saw people talking about it on forums, and I'm not in receipt of any benefits. I work full time, and I wrongly assumed that access to work was only if you were you met a certain criteria in the same way that you would if you were accessing benefits. But no, I was wrong, and yeah, so that's a good thing. My experience with that has been interesting. It's been good and not so good. So if anyone wants to know more about that, again, comment below. I want to give information out that's useful, and I noticed that there just wasn't very much information available on, one, getting diagnosed as an adult with ADHD, particularly in the UK, two, getting diagnosed with ADHD as female. I want to do what I can to raise awareness for people in a way that would have really helped me, and certainly did help me. I would not have been on this journey without that article being shared. So anything that can be helpful, let me know below. The one last thing I did just want to cover is a couple of the things I was really hoping that the medication would help with. So I have a couple of what we call body focused repetitive behaviours. So I have trichotillomania, collect all the best diagnoses. So that is a hair pulling disorder, and I've got a separate video talking about that. For me, it has always affected my eyebrows and my eyelashes, so I am very grateful for falsies and my ability to put them on, and also microblading. I have successfully managed to grow my eyelashes and my eyebrows back a couple of years ago, which is amazing, because I've done this since I was 8. I found out that actually those body focused repetitive behaviours, so the trichotillomania and nail biting for me, are stimulating behaviours. They're almost ways of coping if I'm trying to force myself to focus and things like this, and related to ADHD. Now, I was hoping the medication would have done a little bit more of a helpful job in assisting me there. However, I am now at 3 months of 0 nail biting, which is amazing, and I go to an incredible lady who helps me, and she has been through this cycle with me countless times where I've had no nails, like really short bitten nails, much to my shame. And she'll do my nails, it'll be okay for a few weeks, but then I'll start to pick at them, play with them, even bite them off, and it would just be a bit of a disaster again. And that hasn't happened this time. And I think because the medication gives me enough stimulation that when I do still get the impulses that I get with the hyperactive part of ADHD, I just get a bit more opportunity to pause, and that helps me to stop. So these are almost all lengthwise my own, which is huge. So I am now turning my attention, which I haven't done really, more in a more focused way, to my eyelashes and eyebrows. I'm using an app at the moment, using the energy that I've now got, not having to focus on these. We're day 8, so obviously I've got to a point where I've grown them back before, so that's normally at least kind of a 2-3 month process, but hey, day 8 is, yeah, I'll take that. So yeah, thank you for bearing with this video. There's a lot to cover, I talk a lot, and I'm literally just before my period, which is not great for my medication working. I just want to be here as a source to help give out more information, so let me know. If you would be so kind as to like, subscribe. I'm going to try and be more frequent and more consistent with uploading some content, so do let me know what you want in a comment below, and I will see you next time.